Hello everyone, my name is Marissa Works, and today I will be talking about something that has affected us all as students, and that is standardized testing. Specifically, I'd like to discuss the shift on the changing perspective on the importance of standardized testing. So to begin, what exactly is a standardized test? By definition, a standardized test requires students to answer all of the same questions in the same way, and it is graded in a standard and consistent manner which allows the results to be compared across a large scale. In this generation, we are all familiar with this idea, and we've taken these tests throughout elementary, middle, and high school. But why were these so important? Why were these such a central part of our curriculum? I'm going to give you some background information to explain why. So in 2002, the No Child Left Behind Act was signed into action under the Bush administration. This was just a transformative act as it evolutionized the education system because it mandated standardized testing in all 50 states. The reason that this act was implemented was to accomplish two main goals. So the first was to improve the international rankings of our education system and just the quality of education in our country as a whole. The second goal was to ensure that all students received an equal education, regardless of their race, their gender, or their economic status. So in the beginning, this was very popular. It passed in the House with a vote of 384 to 45, and in the Senate with a vote of 91 to 8. So this was an overwhelming majority, and that's because people really believed it was a good thing. It was creating an accountability system for education to measure the success and to promote quality education. In reality, the popularity of this act has diminished throughout the years, and that was largely due to the statistical results. So we're going to look at a few examples. The first thing I'd like to show you is a chart that is based on results by race. So as I mentioned, one of the goals was to promote equal education aside from these factors. And this chart shows us that there is still a racial divide between the successes in these tests. And it shows that we're not achieving the national average as a whole together, and there is still a gap that's happening. So statistically, this goal has not been accomplished. The next thing I'd like to discuss is a chart that's specific to the state of Minnesota, except it really represents what's happening in our nation as a whole. So this has to do with the yearly progress of the states. And it's basically showing us that states are not meeting the standards that they're setting for themselves, and it's actually progressively getting worse. This shows us that there is not standardized testing. More standardized tests does not directly correlate with more success. So this also shows that another main goal is not being accomplished of this act. So a lot of statistics, a lot of polls, a lot of surveys are showing us that standardized tests are not working, and this is contributing to the shift in perspective, where people are realizing, maybe we shouldn't be focusing so much on these. These should not be the most important part of a child's education. So this shift is continuous, it is ongoing, and it is current. On October 24th, 2015, Obama released a Facebook video kind of clarifying his perspective on standardized tests. So for a long time, he was a strong advocate for testing in schools and standardized education. But this video said otherwise. He said that tests are not working and he wants to fix that. So here is just a quote from his video that I think kind of summarizes what he was trying to say, and I think it also summarizes, what our nation is feeling at this time. His shift in perspective is representative of the shift in perspective of our nation as a whole, which includes teachers, students, parents alike. And these people are taking action against this. So whether it's through protests, through petitions, through rallies, through boycotts, people are understanding through evidence and experiences that standardized tests are not working. So that kind of poses the question, what's next? What's going to be in the future of education? Because of people really understanding that it's not working, and actually in a survey that was taken in the fall of 2015, 64% of people said that they think it's ruining our education system. So what's going to replace it? In the video that Obama released, he also mentioned that the government is brainstorming ways to replace this, whether this is different testing methods, observational methods, surveys, sampling, but all in all, it's a shift away from standardized testing as a whole. So after years of being forced to take these tests, as a society, it is now our turn to put the idea of standardized testing, to the test. Thank you.